Let's like you didn't attend to it. You understand? So that is one of the reasons why you get yourself prepared, having information ahead, having a divine guidance ahead, so everything align gradually. You understand? But so basically, I've shown us in a previous video on how to cast a chart in tasking method. I've shown us how to spiritually cast your chart. That is how to traditional cast your chart in a spiritually inclined manner or method. So now this is the chart. Let's say we have casted the chart. Now I want to say something before I continue. Whenever you cast your chart finish, the first place you should check is this house. This place is called house 15. If you count it from here, is house 15. From here to here is 8. From here to here is 8. Now this is 9 house. This is what 10th house, this is 11th house, and this is 12th house. This is 13th house. This is 13th house is between 9 and 10. Then 14th house is in between 11 and 12 house. Do you understand? So why the 15th house? Because 15 and this is 15th house. This 13 and 14 give us what 15. So whenever you generate your chart finish, the first place to check is this house 15. So whenever you check this place and you find a one an odd figure here, that means you have made a mistake in the process of generating your chart. What do we mean? What kind of mistake do you make? Sometimes, I told you that to generate this chart, you take this dot here, if it is 2 or something, you take this one, you take two, then you make them sit. You understand? Because they are in this way they are sleeping. In this way you have made them sit. So it is 2 1 1 2. That will give us 2 1 1 2. That's how we get what this fifth figure. But sometimes you might make mistake. Instead of 2 1 1 2, you might make mistake of writing 2 1 1 1 instead of or along like when you are doing your plus and minus under here, when you are adding one, you might make mistakes of writing 2. You might make mistake. So you might make mistake. So instead of you checking one after the other, do I make mistake? You are looking here. Do I make mistake? You are looking here. Do I make mistake? You are wasting your time. Just come to this place. Once this figure here is odd number figure, that means you have made a mistake. How do you know a odd number? You count it 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is even number figure. 6 is even, right? But if it is 5 or 3, you cannot by 3. You start from 4, right? So if it is 5 or 7, that means you have made a mistake. You understand? So just like this one is odd. 1 2 3 4 5. 5 is odd. It means that this figure cannot sit here. There's no whenever you sit here, that means you have made a mistake. You understand? But so this figure to cast again 1 2 3 4 5, it cannot sit here. So that is about that. So once you have confirmed that, the next thing you will do is to check if the chart has missed. Scientifically, technically, this is how to check the chart. If the chart is technically correct, that is everything mechanically, technically, manually, everything is balanced. Now, spiritually, to know if the chart align with the universal mind. I told you that what we are doing is to connect with the universal mind. To now check if the chart align with the universal mind, if the chart actually tap into the universe, you then check the maze. Tap with the universal mind means that you are seeking authority from the universal mind. Do you get that authority? You then look for that authority if it is on the table. You look for it. Once it's on the table, that means you have gotten you have gotten an authority from the universal mind to interpret the chart. Do you understand? Now, there are people who interpret the chart without maze, and they also they sometimes correct. You understand? Now, the point is that the people who don't use there are people who you look out for maze, and there are people who don't look for maze before interpret. You just interpret either it has maze or not. But I advise you don't do that. You don't interpret a chart without a maze. I have just made some discussion about it in some write-up. Probably I will do a video on why it is important, blah blah blah. But it is if you are following this method, whatever things I'm teaching, you have to look for a maze. Any chart I talked about, you have to look for a maze. It's seeking authority. Without maze, that doesn't mean that a chart is totally invalid. It means that there is no authority on that chart, which means that whatever you say, it is based on chance. It could collect, it could not, it can come otherwise. But a chart with a maze, once you know what you are talking about, it can never come otherwise. Even if the current isn't aware of what you are saying, maybe current didn't agree with you or doesn't even understand what you are saying, just leave the person. The person will see the reality also. The only problem is just that when the current see the reality, or when what you said, what you tell the current comes to reality, current might not come and tell, oh, you are sorry, current will not want to. Do you understand? But if a chat has a miss, if you lack a miss, it is based on probability. You are working on probability. There is no go ahead to what you are doing. You just did it. Yes, sir. But a child that has means you have tapped from the wall, the universal mind. Just like when you throw a stone. When we started this thing, it is random thing. This form something was generated arbitrarily. Do you understand? Just inform, we just do our hand. How do we know we are connected? So our hand is checking for the mix that we are actually connected. You dial a number. It's not every time you dial a number that it will ring. What of if the number is switched off? You understand? So how do we know if the number read, the person will pick it and we know? So this is one of the ways to know spiritual. So that's why I said that there are two things to cross check. You are cross checking it mechanically, your hand, your movement. That is this scientifically, empirically. This is our system. That is how to check. But spiritually, to confirm that you are spiritually connected, what you say into your hand before you then rub it, is it connected? That is, if you find the mace, if the mace is present, it means that you are spiritually connected. The chart, that means that this table is not just a mere table. It's not just a mere drawing something on the sound or playing with sound. Or if it is that doesn't have mace, it means that it is on the soil. It is, if once this our system is correct, it means that what you have drawn on, what you have written on the head is written scientifically, just like anything, just like anybody write anything. And now let me even tell you, so that I deviated. Let me quickly say something here, because I was thinking I would say it down that video, or I've said it in one of the write-up I've done. One of the difference between a chart with mace and the one without mace is this again. You see a chart without mace. A chart without mace, if you see people who because recurrent practice give you some edge. You understand? By recurrent practice. So there are some things you will say on a chart without mace, yet it will still be correct. How? Why? Does that mean you are connected with the universal mind? No. This is what happens. If you create another chart again, you create another chart again, and that chart has a miss. One of the things you said in that chart that doesn't have miss, it means that it is in that thing. Just like a truth is already on ground. Now there are things that it means that truth is already on the ground. That one that becomes true, on that one that slot itself, or that find itself inside that invalid chart, or a chart without means. I don't want to use the word invalid, because if you said invalid, that means that you cannot find any truth in it at all. A chart without means is still valid, but a truth there is tentative, is coincident, is accidental. It is one of the truths that will be, because if you cast a new chart, that same truth you find there, if you know how to interpret chart very well, that same truth you find in a chart without mace, you will find in that a chart with mace. You will find it there. I'm telling you. Otherwise, you will. So it means that some truths will be in the invalid ones. Once your chart is mechanically correct, mechanically is when you check this one is mechanically, spiritually, so you check physically and spiritually if it is so your mix is just like checking if you are connected with the universal mind, where you are getting this four figure from. You should check if this four figure, the four model you have collected, if they are actually real one connected with your this, because it's like you are getting a message from your universal mind, you are getting a message from divine space. So the message you have gotten, you want to know if it is the one connected with the query you have connected, if it is the one connected with the one you have casted the chart for. So that is how to spiritually get that. You check the maze. That is why essence of checking maze. But checking this 16 and 15 house is 15 house. This particular is to check if what you have written is mechanically correct, scientifically correct, mathematically correct, arithmetically correct, or symbolically correct. It is more empirical. Why that one is more spiritual? You understand? The other one. So how do you check that? So that, let me even just say, because I wanted to use chart to explain how to know dream. But let me use this to round up this particular one. So that, because this video is getting long. Now to spiritually check if the chart you have casted is in line or connected. So you look at this house 3, this is 1, 2, 3, this is house 3. Now house 3 and this house 6. You add them the same way you added this and this together, the same way you add this and this together, the same way you add this and this together in order to get this. So it is the same way you add this particular place, you add it together with this particular houses. So what it will give you a figure. That figure that it give you, you add it to what uh house 15. So whatever figure it then give you, they now look, when you add this and this together, it will give you a figure. That figure you added together, add it together with this one. Add it together with this one, it will give you a figure. That figure you then get, then check if it is present on the table. If it is present on the table, then you are good to go. If it's not present, that means something is wrong somewhere. That means you have to cast the chart again, start again, all over again. Now, so another way to do this, I just give you a shortcut to the. So there's another way of doing it, but that other way of doing it will always give you the same figure. That one is by adding this and this together to give you a figure. Then you add this and this together to give you a figure. The figure you get here, the figure you get here, you add it together. If you check it will give you the same figure with this previous one I said. So that two method will always arrive at the same figure because it's a universal mind you are connecting. So you then check if that figure you get, whichever method you use, with either the first one I mentioned or the second one I said, check if it is on the table. If it's on the table, that means the chart has a miss. If it is not on the table, it means the chart is not as a miss. Then you have to cast again. So I hope you understand. Please like, share, and comment. The more share, the more like, the more share, the more like, the more the opportunity that, the more reason you are giving me to give you more tips about geomancy of a thing so that you can independently understand some of the technical things or some of the things that could easily help you yourself. Do you understand, ba? So, like and share. May God bless you. Thank you very much.